And the Grinch is not the only one who can steal Christmas. Identity thieves are waiting around the corner to do the same to millions of shoppers this holiday season.
So to save yourself the nightmare before Christmas, I spoke with an expert on how to stay protected. This past year, you couldn't turn around without hearing about another company dealing with a data breach affecting millions of consumers. So what do you do if you still want to do your holiday shopping online, of course, for those deals and convenience? Well, best-selling author and finance expert Jean Chatzky is here to share some tips for protecting your personal information and your finances this holiday season. Jean, that can definitely turn our holidays upside down.
No question. And as you said, we know that the incidence of data breaches is up 30% from last year to this year alone. You've been reading about them in the paper. And keeping yourself safe isn't all that complicated. It's really just a matter of doing a few simple things over and over and over again.
Well, we definitely need those because, of course, we're all going to be jumping online to do some shopping or going into the stores. So what are some of those things we can start doing right now?
Number one thing is pay attention to your passwords. Lifelock did some research, and we know that although 40% of people have actually changed their passwords, 60% of people have not listened to this advice. It's really important, particularly when it comes to your financial institutions, your banks, your brokerage firms, your credit card companies. A strong password is at least 8 characters. It's letters, both upper and lowercase, and numbers and symbols that all come together to form a word that you can't find in the dictionary. It really does need to be nonsense. So make sure that you're vigilant about that. You want to change those passwords about every 6 months. You also want to make sure that the security on your networks, wherever you're transacting, is up to date. Transacting in a coffee shop, no good. No good. You need to be more careful than that. When you're doing it at home, you want to make sure that you've got the latest in firewalls and things like that on your home network. And when you're transacting on your mobile phone, and we know that this holiday season, the number of transactions on mobile devices is going to skyrocket, you want to make sure that you've got the latest version of the software, that you've downloaded all of the updates, because that's where they put those security updates in those updates. So make sure you've put them actually on your devices, and that you've got passwords on your mobile devices as well.
So definitely it sounds like the password is one of the key things that we can do, and that's definitely something we can do right now at our computers, is do that update and of course change those passwords. Is this something when we're trying to protect ourselves that we can just do on our own, or do you suggest we maybe implement someone else to help us with this?
You know, it really depends on you. There are a number of things that you can do on your own. You can use a credit card instead of a debit card. It's just safer because you're not using your own money. And if somebody gets their hands on that number, they're not going to be able to clean out your bank account. You can pull your your statements from the credit bureaus 3 times a year. You can make sure that when you get those credit card statements, you're actually looking at all of that information. You know yourself, and if you're not going to do all of these things for yourself, then it makes sense to sign up with a company like a Lifelock to do these things for you, because we're beyond the time when not paying attention is okay.
And Jean, why do you think it is that we have seen that huge increase in identity theft? Do you think it's just that people aren't taking these steps, or the bad guys are kind of getting a little bit smarter?
Oh, I think it has everything to do with the bad guys getting smarter. But what we also know, and this is another piece of research that the folks at Lifelock conducted, is that the fact that there have been so many data breaches, we're tired of them. We're tired of hearing about them. We're tired of listening to them. We have data breach fatigue, and it's having the opposite impact that we need it to have. People are just saying, ugh, I've heard that before. They're not paying attention, and that's definitely not okay.
Definitely not okay. And Jean, is there anywhere that we can go maybe to get more of these tips or those steps again?
Sure, you can certainly go to my website, which is jeanchatzky.com. You can go to Lifelock's website. I write blog posts for them, and you'll find this information in both places.
Well, we're definitely going to make sure that our holidays stay happy without having any of that drama from that identity theft. Jean, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
The Morning Blend will be right back.